Divya Deshmukh is the under-20 women's world chess champion who recently won the gold at the Chess Olympiad with Team India, clinching an individual gold medal on board 3, striking gold twice. But this was before all that. Today I take you a few months back to April 4th in Menorca, Spain, in which Divya and I were paired against each other after winning our first 2 games in a blitz tournament. I had white and she had black. The game started off with my boxer showing as she couldn't find the board and I had to signal her. She finally arrives and immediately we're off to the races, but my pieces are not... so I have to adjust them. I play e4, best by test. Divya adjusts her pieces as well. And she takes a little think and she goes e6. This is the French defense. I go d4 and we go for the advanced French. c5, c3, knight c6, knight f3, queen b6, a3. And I play a line that, is very interesting. And my idea is that I want to play b4 here to attack her pawn structure. And once these pawns get traded off, we get a fairly equal position in which my goal is to develop my pieces and hone in on that nice juicy c5 square. And here she goes with a6, which I haven't really seen before. I was kind of, you see my eyes there, I'm like, what is a6? And it has a very tricky idea. You see, black inherently has a bad bishop in this structure. So now she creates a square for her knight to go back to a7 to unveil her bad bishop and try to trade it off with bishop b5. And now my bishop is pinned to my rook, and those bishops are forced to trade off. I have to trade off my good bishop against her bad bishop, and her plan is executed. On the other hand, Divya has not developed her entire kingside pieces. She's not even close to castling. And that is quite the beauty of the French defense, is that you can afford to make this happen because the position is quite closed. And so I go knight b3 here, honing in on that c5 square as I said previously, and I get that juicy c5 square. The knight is there. Beautiful. So now she's taking time. So far, I'm pretty happy with how it went. I've developed all my pieces, I've castled, I have space, I have a strong knight on c5 ready to grasp at any opportunity. And overall, I'm pretty happy here with the white pieces. Look at the space too that I have with my nice pawn structure. Very, very nice. And she's taking time. So I'm like, okay, I'm playing an IM and we're not doing bad here. She develops her bishop. What she foresees is a little bit of trouble here because as she's preparing to castle, I might have some knight d7 things attacking and forking her rook and queen. So she's very careful. I go with rook c8. So just planning to get my rook on this open c-file, developing, continuously developing. And eventually a nice plan here is actually to go a4. But now I can't execute it because she can take, and go queen takes b4 here. So she castles, and now I take on b5. She takes immediately to cover this d7 square from the fork that we said previously. And now her queen is strong. I had a really strong move here, which I didn't play here, but it's bishop d2, defending this pawn and preparing that nice a4 plan. I go with queen b3 instead, and now she takes on c5. And here it's very interesting. I open up this square for my knight to go knight d4 probably. And it is my turn here after knight c6. What should I do? Because now I don't have this square for my knight and I can't push a4. I go with this g4, attacking and kicking her knight. And she surprises me here. She goes with knight a5, attacking my queen. This pawn is pinned and now I have to move my queen. I don't know where to move it. It's very interesting. This knight is coming into c4, but not before this knight has to move because I am attacking this knight on f5. So she's probably going takes next move and then knight c4. So I don't want to go queen c2 because takes doubles my pawns and then knight c4 attacks my pawn here. So I go queen c3 and now she takes and now I take with my pawn. I'm spoiling a bit my move. I take with my pawn because I want to go knight d4 here. But now she goes knight c4, not striking my queen, and I make a small mistake. Knight d4 attacking her queen, letting her queen go and invade on a4, attacking this weak pawn on a3. This was a huge mistake. What I should have done here is actually played e4, because now she can't take because this takes off the defense of her knight, and I go knight d4, winning her knight on c4 once the queen moves. So e4 attacks this structure very well, and now she has to defend with queen d7. Now I panic, but the best move is actually still e4, and after queen takes and we trade queens, at least I can isolate her pawn and weaken her a little bit. So I play knight c2, and she comes up with this brilliant b6 move, just opening up this entire file of weaknesses on my queen, knight, and rook. And now I'm in trouble because the pressure is mounting on the c5 pawn. I need to commit to taking the pawn, and I do, but I'm opening up myself to tons of discovery. She takes with the knight, attacking my queen. I have to move my queen in a position where I'm not giving this knight, but if I have a little trick, maybe I can maintain survival. And so I play queen here, attacking the knight, knight back to d7, and now my knight is under fire. I need to make a decision quickly. Her rook and queen are just completely invading here. Queen b2 is a sensible move, and Divya doesn't even take that much time on her clock, and she finds this really nice move that's coming up. Divya, can you take it away? Knight takes e5, sacrificing her knight to deflect my queen off of this knight on c2. And I'm just stunned by this. I'm down a pawn now. After taking this knight, she picks up my rook on c2 and invades completely my second rank. And I need to hold. I just need to play some solid moves now. But from here on out, all of my weaknesses are clearly apparent and long-term are present. After takes, Divya looking a little bit bored there. Are you okay? And yeah, I have to figure it out here. I have more time on the clock, so I'm just going. I'm pushing my pawns in. I'm trying to create a little bit of counterplay, maybe create some weaknesses around her king. She doesn't seem too fazed by this. She has 1 minute on her clock now. She goes queen. Ooh, she doesn't like queen e2 for some reason. I don't know why she didn't like this. She goes queen d3 instead. Very interesting. I don't know what the difference is between both of them. Maybe queen e2 is threatening this g4 move, the g4 pawn, but I'm not sure why she didn't choose it. So I go a4, getting out of this attack, and now she goes queen b3, attacking both of my pawns at the same time. And okay, I'm in trouble, but maybe I can use her queen being all the way on the queen side of the board by attacking her king side castle. And so she takes my b4 pawn first. Now I go rook f4, attacking her queen. Her queen was threatening this pawn. I can't just go like h6 because then she takes and recovers. So check, king g2. Now she brings her rook in finally. So the rook is preparing to invade and checkmate me. I'm pretty scared at this point. I have to go rook f2. I have to defend against this rook c2 threat. And this slows down my attack. Ultimately, queen b4 back, threatening my pawn on g2. Engine saying I got a little bit of air here. What can I play? I think a move like king g3 is sensible. What do I play actually? Oh, I do play king g3. Look at me. King g3, which is the wrong move. h6 now defends properly against my h6 push. And my attack is a bit stalled. I go with g5, striking a last opportunity perhaps. Betting on the fact that she's also low on time. She has 31 seconds on her clock. She takes my pawn. I take back. No, I don't take back. I play h6 for some reason. Why do I play h6 here? Check? I just let in a check? Zach! She takes here. I'm down like 5 pawns now. Queen d6? Surely this is over. Divya, what do you have for us? Divya has 17 seconds. Rook c1 is played, threatening queen h1 here with some matings. What do I have? I have 0 time on my clock and I flag. I'm already lost on position. Queen h1 is very hard to stop after checking king here. And we take the L, sadly. She played very, very well. And overall, I lost my edge. I should have gone with that bishop d2. That was the critical moment in which I retained a small edge, preparing that a4 push. But it is life. Divya, well played, and congrats on all your recent success. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.